Hello everyone, Whitney Emmanuel here with Strategic Visionaries, and welcome to your Money Smarts for the day. So what I'd like to talk to you today about is a retirement income framework, but this doesn't necessarily just have to do with retirement. It can be if you are drawing on a portfolio that you have for income, and how do you set that up with market volatility. I get a lot of questions, especially from my more conservative clients, if they should have all their money in cash right now. The first thing before I go into this framework is that if you are 10 plus years away from using this money, whether it's for retirement or college or another goal that you have, I do not recommend having that money in cash, because then you won't be able to keep pace with inflation. The money does need to grow. So you do need to invest it according to your risk tolerance, and that's why you work with an advisor or a financial planner to really come up with a plan as to how to invest that money in a diversified manner. However, if you are using money for income in retirement, you have a portfolio, this is what I recommend my clients do and how they set it up in this retirement income framework. So there are 3 buckets of money that you would split up your money this way. So the first one is cash and cash equivalents. And how much you put in this bucket is determined by how much you need from this every year. So let's say that your expenses that you need to pay for from your portfolio are, let's just say, $3,000 a month. Let's say your total expenses are $5,000 a month, but $2,000 of that is covered by Social Security. So then we have a $3,000 a month shortfall. So in order to cover that shortfall, you need to make withdrawals from your portfolio. And so that would be $36,000 a year that you need to withdraw from your portfolio every year. And to do that, so in order to withdraw from cash, you need to have enough cash set aside. And so what I generally recommend is that clients have 1 to 2 years worth of income that you need from that portfolio set aside in cash and cash equivalents. So in this scenario, and also I do think it's okay to be more conservative, especially with the current market volatility. So if you need $3,000 a month from your portfolio, that's $36,000 a year. Multiply by 2 for 2 years. That's $72,000 that you have set aside in cash that you're withdrawing from on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis, however you'd like to withdraw from it. But cash and cash equivalents would be checking account, savings account, money market mutual fund, CDs, certificates of deposit, high yield savings accounts. Those are all guaranteed. They're all FDIC insured, up to $250,000 per account, per ownership. So that is a good place to have your safe money for income, because the rule of thumb is that recessions and market downturns take about 18 to 24 months to recover. We are currently in a recession. The market is not quite communicating in that same way. So we don't know what's going to happen with the market over the next couple of years, but we do know we're in an economic recession. And so it's wise always, whether or not you're in a recession, to have that amount in cash, because you never know when the market could dip again. Second bucket would be your more income producing vehicles. And that would then feed your cash bucket. And then again, the idea is to have here about 2 to 4 years worth of income. So you've got $72,000 in the bucket number 1. Now let's talk about what you would want to have in the income bucket. At a minimum, you'd want to have $72,000, which is 2 years worth of income, up to 4 years. So that would be about $144,000. We can round up and say you would have $150,000 in this income producing bucket. So what are income producing vehicles? This is generally guaranteed, not always. Sometimes people will take more risk with their income, but you would have here annuities, whether it's variable or fixed or indexed, lots of different kinds. You could have individual bonds here that pay interest guaranteed by the bond issuer. You could have here bond mutual funds or income producing mutual funds that are a mix of stocks and bonds. And those are really the main places that you'll be able to draw income from a guaranteed basis. So mutual funds are not guaranteed, just to make that clear, but you can actually buy individual bonds, treasuries from the US federal government. by municipalities, that's tax-free income. And so those are all going to be concentrated in that bucket too, which is really most of your income. So what we've accounted for is 36,000 in bucket one, 150,000 in bucket two. So that's about $186,000 if I'm doing the math right. And then let's say you have 500,000 or $1 million in your overall portfolio. Let's just say it's 500,000 for the sake of this example. So then what you would want to do is the rest of your money would be in the third bucket. So if we take 500 and then 186, that's 314 is the difference that would go in the growth bucket. And the growth bucket is not all stocks. It's a diversified portfolio that is actually growing. It's not generating current income. It's more of your growth because you've got the income bucket that's giving you the income. And the importance of having money, even though it can seem scary as a more conservative investor that's drawing income, it can seem scary to have money in stocks because what is comprised of this third bucket, the growth bucket, are stocks. It could be stocks and bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, variable annuities, variable life insurance. It could be alternative investments, which include real estate investment or real estate income trusts. It could be private equity. I mean, there's so many things that fall into this growth bucket, but it tends to be money that is either not as liquid or is more aggressive. And so the beauty of having money in this bucket is that it helps your portfolio keep pace with inflation. Because if you only have those two buckets filled with all of your money, you're not able to keep pace with inflation. And this can be dangerous because what that does, it takes away what's called your purchasing power, which is your ability to purchase things in the future. Because even though your money's not growing, the cost of food is growing, the cost of gas is growing, the cost of real estate is growing. Property taxes never go away if you own property. That is always going to be increasing. So it's important that you have money in that growth bucket, but that it's not your more immediate money that's in that growth bucket. And so as you can see, there are a lot of factors that go into building a portfolio in this way, which is why you really should customize that with your financial advisor. If you are drawing on income and you are not working on this with your financial advisor, I'm happy to give a second opinion on how to set up your money and how to draw income in a very strategic way. Because especially now, this is a great time to have this discussion because the market has recovered since the original downturn in March. It went down very significantly, 40%. And now it recovered. It did go down a little bit with the unemployment announcement, but it's still very high in light of our current economy. And like I said, we do not know what will happen. So this is a great time to potentially lock in some of the gains that you've gotten over the last few months and really get strategic about your income and make sure that your more current needs are being met by guaranteed vehicles like cash or others. So please reach out to me if you have questions and you want to schedule a consultation about this. Would love to talk to you. And I just wish you well. I pray that you are doing well and that you have peace, both in your mind and spirit and also in your finances. Again, that's Whitney Emmanuel giving you your money smarts for today. I hope you have a beautiful day.